Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has said Canada's oil sector will remain competitive even if Venezuela ramps up production following US efforts to remove President Nicolas Maduro. Carney said Canadian crude remains attractive because it is low cost and low risk, adding that proposed carbon capture projects in Alberta could further boost its appeal.
From our perspective, the removal of an illegitimate, corrupt, repressive government or leader, Mr. Maduro, is welcome news. It creates the possibility for democratic transition in Venezuela. We very much support that. We're available to support that, and we urge that to happen in a peaceful transition. And that's the best prospect for greater prosperity for the Venezuelan people and to respect the will of the Venezuelan people. The Canadian oil will be competitive because it is low risk, clearly low risk, low cost, the marginal costs. There's been huge progress in getting down the costs, and low carbon, which is what the Pathways project, carbon capture, will bring. And that makes Canadian oil competitive for the medium and long term.
Carney also welcomed stability in Venezuela but reaffirmed confidence in Canada's long-term energy future.
So we welcome the prospect of peace, a peaceful transition, democratic Venezuela. We welcome the prospect of greater prosperity in Venezuela, but we also see the competitiveness of Canadian oil, and we're investing, or we're putting in place measures so that that's going to happen.
Speaking on Greenland, Carney said the Arctic island's future must be decided solely by the Denmark and Greenland, backing European calls for self-determination.
The future of Greenland is a decision for Greenland and for Denmark exclusively. It's their decision. Secondly, from a NATO context, the way I would frame it is that the western flank of NATO, which would include Greenland, the Arctic, is, given the evolving threat environment, is an area that we as NATO, Canada obviously importantly, given our geography, need to invest more in. This is a point that we've been making in recent years and since I became Prime Minister, that we've really stressed. And with our build-up, that's just beginning of our military capabilities, we are making heavy investments in the Arctic. We'll be working with our Nordic partners. We'll be working through NATO. This is one of the issues I'll be discussing with the Secretary General.
Carney's remarks come after US President Donald Trump suggested American companies could invest heavily in Venezuela's oil industry, raising questions about potential competition with Canada's oil sands.